So here is actually a detailed step of actually how to complete the square. Step 1, partial factor the a across the first two terms. If you don't know the first two terms, you're going to have a bad time. Okay? Notice in this example, that's step 1 right here. Notice it should always be x squared. If you have another number, negative or 3 or 7, you did something wrong, and unfortunately everything's wrong. So partial factor in the a term is really, really important. Step 2. We take a step back, and I steal this from Ms. McHale because she says take the newbie. Newbie in this case is this 5/2. Take the newbie and divide by 2. That's right here. So in this case, the newbie is 5/2. Not always. I like it when it's like this, and divide by 2. And you need to know how to divide fractions, right? Or integers or whatever. 5/2 divided by 2 is 5/4. Take your answer from step 2. Step 2 answer. Square. That's here. Why is this all important? Step 2 and step 3 are actually the essence of what you're doing. Step 4. Add by 0. I put that in quotes because technically some students say when you add by 0, it doesn't matter. I can do plus 7 minus 7. But there's a point to it. Where are you going to add by 0? You're going to take the answer from step 3. Step 3. So step 3, notice this answer was 25/16. Everyone see that? This is what I wrote. Plus 25/16 minus 25/16. A very good question is, Mr. Chen, why didn't you put this one first? Why didn't you put the negative one first and the plus 1 second? It doesn't matter. If you add by 0, it shouldn't matter, right? But the whole point is the perfect square. Notice the C term. This is positive. It's always positive. Even, Mr. John, are you sure? Yeah, even if this is negative, a minus b squared. That's still going to be positive. Right? So that's step 4. Step 5. This is the essence. Complete the square. And notice what I'm going to help you out. Use the answer from step 2. So where's step 2? And where's step 5? Step 5 is right here. We're going this trinomial to this perfect square. Step 6, a lot of students forget this. Distribute a across square brackets. And that's what I wrote in yellow. For some reason, everyone gets this part right. And then unfortunately, they just copy negative 25/16 down here. Right? And this is actually why it's hard. The 2 is really this negative 50/16. Negative 50/16. But I didn't write negative 50/16. A lot of you know what I did. I reduced that fraction just to make my life easier, right? And then step 7, like terms, which are usually that negative. Sometimes it's positive, and this external negative 1 that you're seeing. So this is step 7. Now, I know it seems like I took it longer than some teachers in grade 10, because some teachers just said, well, do this all at once, divide by 2 and square it, and then complete the square by doing that. But they don't explain why. Right? And this, it's hard because unlike expanding and factoring, which are related, to think of perfect squares from standard form, really, really difficult. And so they had to make an algorithm or a method to do this. There is another way, but then it just requires you to be very, very calculated. And then you're just becoming simple automatons. This is more of like algebraic gymnastics. It's nice and stylistic, right? And don't get me wrong, you don't have to write all these steps. Some students go from here to here, and then jump to this. And that's fine with me. Okay? Because some students are noticing, Mr. Chen, this is just the answer from step 2, and then I negate the answer of step 3. So I don't like teaching it that way because, you know, like when you were growing up, why teach you how to run when you first should know how to crawl first, then stand up, and then walk before you run? There is a progression. Let's just stop this video.